Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you like gaming and want to learn a foreign language at the same time, or if you have sometimes a lack of motivation when it comes to language learning, then you found the right video. Los geht's! My name is Dustin, I'm an IT project manager from Germany, and on this channel we create content that helps us to be more productive, to learn new things, especially languages, and to live a happier and more fulfilling life. Today, in the second part of this new mini-series about how gaming can facilitate and improve our language learning, we will have a look at 5 games that are suitable to do so. If you haven't watched the first part yet, please make sure to do so because it will help you to understand why gaming can be such a valuable language learning resource. So a quick recap first. Games are great resources for language learning, if used correctly. And the attributes of gaming and language learning are complementing each other perfectly. It should serve as an addition to your language learning resources. I created a table to show the most important factors that a game needs to fulfill to become a valuable language learning resource. Going forward, we will fill it for each game we're going to review. So on top, of course, you have the name of the game. Then you have the type, so if it's single player or multiplayer. The supported languages, which is a major factor to language learning. I mean, we need to make sure that the game has the language we want to learn. Then, if it contains task-based learning, so the use of language to solve a task with a non-linguistic outcome. And then of course the important 4, reading and listening comprehension and writing and speaking skills. To see what the game can help us with. Okay, enough theory, let's start with the first game. The first game, of course, World of Warcraft. It's the world's most successful MMORPG. It's around since 2004, so a damn long time for a video game. It takes place in a fantasy world, like with orcs, elves and all that kind of stuff. Of course it has all the typical elements of an RPG, like quests, a skill system, leveling, items and so on. It has a rich story and there are also many books about the lore and stuff. It really knows how to play the game mechanics in a way that you get really sucked into that addiction spiral. So be aware of that. On the other hand, this will make your language learning experience very pleasant, and you will not only immerse into a different language, but also into a different world. Okay, so now let's have a look at the table together. So of course it's multiplayer. It has 13 supported languages, but not a real audio support for the regular quests and such. There are also servers all around the world that makes it easier to get to know other people from different countries in a different language. It clearly has task-based learning because you need, in order to solve quests, to read the quest text and to know where to go. Especially if you're playing World of Warcraft Classic. So this means you improve your reading comprehension, of course. It can also improve your listening comprehension if you interact with other people to go together in an instance or something like that. Same applies also for speaking and writing abilities, of course. So the interaction with real other humans. So I would definitely recommend to play World of Warcraft Classic or Burning Crusade Classic, because the game is more slow-paced and you really need to interact more with the other people, so you can't play the whole game alone. So this forces you out of your shell. Next one, Cyberpunk 2077. Night City is a merciless dystopia in which corporations rob people of their humanity, bit by bit. It shows crazy mind games, like what would happen in a world where people become more and more machines through implants. So it has also the typical elements of an RPG, like quests, rich story, character building and items, all that kind of stuff. It again really allows you to immerse into a different world and language. Now let's have a look again at the table. It is only single player, but it has 18 languages in total, which is enormous. And 11 of them actually with full audio support. It has also task-based learning, because in order to progress through the game you need to read the quest text and such. Doing that you also improve your reading comprehension, and you can also improve your listening comprehension because it has full audio support in many languages. You can't train the speaking and writing abilities because it's only single player. But other than that, it's a great game and definitely worth playing. Okay, next game, The Witcher 3. Let me quote the introduction here. The Witcher Wild Hunt is a story-driven open-world RPG set in a visually stunning fantasy universe, full of meaningful choices and impactful consequences. In The Witcher, you play as professional monster hunter Geralt of Rivia, tasked with finding a child of prophecy in a vast open world rich with merchant cities, pirate islands, dangerous mountain passes, and forgotten caverns to explore. It's based on the books by, and I hope I spell the name right, Andrzej Sapkowski, a Polish author, and the games helped the books really to gain popularity. The last part of the trilogy, The Witcher 3, was one of the most successful games worldwide, especially if you only look at single player games. There's also a Netflix series with 2 seasons now. Also, I can recommend the other parts of the series, and it has the typical role-playing elements. Now let's have a look at the table again. So it's single player, but it has 16 supported languages, of which 7 are with full audio, which is again enormous. It offers task-based learning through quests and such, and through that also reading comprehension. Again, it has also listening comprehension if you choose a language that has full audio support. Speaking and writing can't be trained because it's only single player. Next game is actually a language learning game, and the only one of this kind on the list. It's the first language learning RPG around. It's a point and click game where you explore 3 environments in search of charts to uncover a mystery. You can click on various objects and it'll index them into your core vocabulary. Referencing this vocabulary throughout the game will open chests and make combat much easier. And there's the point, it's only about vocab and not about grammar or sentence structures. It just assumes that you already know some stuff. You're not using knowledge or context to form sentences. So if you don't like flashcards and want to build some vocab at the start of learning a language, this could be good. It's on this list because I think we need more games that focus on language learning, but are at the same time interesting. This is a good start, but there's lots of potential still. Now let's have a look again at the table. It is single player, it has 10 languages with audio support. It doesn't offer really task-based learning, as already previously mentioned. It improves your reading comprehension and listening comprehension, but speaking and writing skills won't be improved. And now Elex, which is a German RPG, so let me quote the introduction from Steam. Elex is a handcrafted action role-playing experience from the award-winning creators of the Gothic series, set in a brand new post-apocalyptic science fantasy universe that puts players into a huge seamless game world full of original characters, mutated creatures, deep moral choices, and powerful action. It's a bit more walking and running around than the other games, but I think it's still worth it. And it has also the typical RPG elements. Okay, so it's single player, it has 9 supported languages, of which are only 3 with full audio support. It offers task-based learning, of course, reading comprehension through that, listening comprehension, yes, if you use a language that has audio support, but doesn't improve your speaking and writing skills. It's a game made by a German studio, so if you want to learn German, you found the right game. I hope I could give you some inspiration on how to spice up your language learning and to make it more interesting. Please let me know in the comments down below which other games you think should be also on that list, and if you want me to make more content like that, like for example in-depth reviews of games or how I would play them in order to facilitate my language learning. If you haven't watched the first part of this mini-series yet, please make sure to do so, and if you're interested in language learning apps, I have also a playlist for that. If this video could provide some value to you, please make sure to like it, to subscribe to the channel to not miss anything new, and to ring the notification bell. Thanks for watching and see you the next time.